Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Billionaire investor and entrepreneur Chamath has stated about global payments and the current payment system and what's going to happen in 2022. And remember that XRP is trying to fulfill the use case he's talking about.
My biggest business loser for 2022 is Visa and MasterCard and traditional payment rails and the entire ecosystem around it. So I think that this is the year you can put on what probably will be the most profitable spread trade of my lifetime, which is to be short these companies, and that anybody that basically lives off of this 2 or 3% tax, and be long well thought out Web3 crypto projects that are rebuilding payments infrastructure in a completely decentralized way. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that what you say won't also happen, both that Stripe will have an incredible IPO and that a lot of these scammy crypto projects will go to zero. However, if you read the white papers of these crypto projects and you systematically put together a framework, I think you can be long those and you can be short Visa and MasterCard, because I think this is their peak market cap.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's never been a question whether or not 2022 is going to be the year where crypto goes absolutely parabolic. The only question is this altcoin season going to happen after a financial collapse or before? Here we see that BlackRock, the largest asset manager on the planet, is planning to offer crypto trading. Ladies and gentlemen, does this look like crypto is here to stay? I certainly think so. This is massive. In enters the big boys. They've already been in the space, but now they're screaming it at the top of their lungs. Guys, I said this before and I'll say it again. I do believe that this altcoin season will happen before the financial collapse I expect to happen in March. And this is one other reason why. We suspect that FTX, Crypto.com, and Shiba Inu, along with various other crypto companies, are going to have commercials during the Super Bowl. Typically speaking, when you see that type of retail adoption and retail engagement, that is where things begin to peak. I don't know if things are going to peak right now, but I said this before, and I'll say it again. This is the most anxious I've ever been in crypto, and it's because there's an onslaught of positive crypto news, while at the same time there's an onslaught of negative geopolitical and macro events at play. Let's dive deep into a couple. The Russian government and central bank have just reached an agreement on cryptocurrencies. Both organizations will treat Bitcoin and crypto assets as currencies. Guys, this is major. This is a massive event. In addition, Russia's second richest man says Russia's first approved digital asset issuer could issue tokens linked to metals. says the central bank's digital ruble program may make the debate over crypto irrelevant. This is a 1-2 punch, saying Bitcoin and cryptos are virtual currencies, and also talking about gold-backed stablecoins. Ladies and gentlemen, both of these things have one thing in common. Both are a threat to the United States' dominance over the financial system. We have also threatened to disconnect Russia from SWIFT. The United States has weaponized the US dollar and the SWIFT system against entire economies, disconnecting them from the world economy. And this is about to change, as the United States is in the weakest position it's ever been. Also, European and US regulators tell banks to prepare for a Russian cyber threat. Guys, I remember in 2019, when I was building the narrative for years that there will be blackouts and a cyber attack of epic proportions that will come to the world. Now, in 2022, it seems like it's the norm and everyone's on the same page that something along these lines will happen. In 2019, I was deemed a conspiracy theorist, and I just think it's funny how that works. But regardless, let's continue looking at why this Russia thing is so important, including the rising tensions in Ukraine. DAI posted as we await the crypto executive order that they say is a matter of national security and possibly addresses XRP. Remember that Jay Clayton was warned the month before he dropped the Ripple lawsuit to not do it. A US intelligence chief is concerned about Chinese dominance in crypto. And guys, believe me when I tell all of you, we are miles behind both Russia and China. The narrative needs to change, and Ripple and XRP are the US's only chance to be a leader in the fourth industrial revolution. Remember this crypto executive order the Biden administration is going to release this month. It's going to determine the risks and opportunities posed by digital assets. I've given both the positive and negative scenarios that could come from this executive order. One of them being the fact that the FTX CEO donated the second largest amount to Biden's campaign. But on the other hand, Russia could be beginning to take Bitcoin as payments. It just called Bitcoin a currency. And one more massive thing is happening geopolitically that we cannot ignore. Korea funded its missile program with stolen crypto. Could this be the national security executive order that Joe Biden is about to address, or is it something positive? Either way, we need to be on our toes and prepared for everything. That is why I'm accumulating cash while still holding my crypto position strong. I've been in the crypto space for over 5.5 years now, and because of that fact, I'm able to be greedy and accumulate cash just in case prices go lower. I'm not betting on it, but I'm protecting against me being wrong at this moment in time. Remember that. I personally believe altcoin season is coming, but I'm preparing just in case I'm wrong. Now guys, with all that being said, we have to understand that at the same time as all this is going on, a monstrosity of an event is happening with this Ripple case. First, let me take you to this tweet that Brad Garlinghouse posted. A narrative shift is coming to crypto. The Department of Justice had its largest financial seizure ever, $3.6 billion I believe, and it shows how crypto is no longer for criminals. Ripple will be at the forefront of the credibility of the crypto space when it's all said and done. And the narrative shift from criminality to utility is beginning. Now guys, when we pivot our attention to the SEC case, Rosalind Layton reposted this from Empower Oversight. So XRP was always a security, which was purportedly obvious since 2013, even though the SEC didn't know until December 2022. Bill Hinman said we but meant I. And now, no responsive documents is actually 1,000 pages of records. The SEC arrogance in this case is astounding. The admission from the SEC means its previous no records response was false. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when the government has too much power. 1,000 pages of records detailing communications between William Hinman and Simpson Thatcher while he was in office, responsive to watchdog groups' Freedom of Information Act request. This document appears to be a letter memorializing apparently combative conversations between Empower Oversight and the SEC staff over claims of no responsive documents, now subject to litigation and group's investigation of potential conflicts of interest with Hinman, Clayton, and Mark Berger. In January 28th call, the SEC staff claimed an error in previous search was corrected, and more than 1,000 documents were uncovered. This is incredible. This is SEC and government corruption, and it cannot be ignored. Now, while this lawsuit is going on though, we need to realize what's really important. From payments infrastructure news, the last few days have been marked by positive news for Swift competitor Ripple. Observers speak of a possible turning point in the lawsuit with the SEC, but more interesting from our point of view is the cooperation with Modular, which could give the RippleNet project a new boost. The new partnership means that firms using Ripple's RippleNet for real-time payments will have an alternative to legacy correspondent banking for payments into the UK and Europe. Guys, do not underestimate how massive this modular partnership was, and do not underestimate the fact that it happened in the midst of a heated battle between the SEC and Ripple. Ripple is so powerful, they continue to grow as a business, and they continue to get monster partnerships even while getting sued. The Ripple Q4 report said it best, as they continue to grow regardless of any and all questions. Now guys, some additional information that makes me believe there could be an altcoin season as several US lawmakers introduced the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act to strengthen the legitimacy of crypto in the digital economy. And the bill also aims to expand the use of cryptocurrencies for payments. On one hand, all of this magic is happening in the crypto space, and the fundamentals of crypto and the growth of the ecosystem is growing exponentially. But we have to remember, we have little old Gary. Gary is ready to come after exchanges, and let me play you a brief clip of him saying that explicitly.
We've brought a number of actions. We're trying to work with the various crypto platforms, the exchanges, the lending platforms to come in, get registered, find where we can to adjust our rule set to get the investor protection for the public.
As you say, you've encouraged the exchanges to come in and get registered. At the same time, a lot of them have not, as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
At what point do you have to force
that.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, what you saw right there is a description about one of the variables of what's going to make this crypto bull run end. I said it before and I'll say it again. I believe this altcoin season is coming. I believe it is starting now. And we still have to wait and see if that is in fact the case. But one thing you need to understand is, it is extremely clear to me how this crypto altcoin season is going to end. It's going to end due to a stock market collapse. It's going to end because of exchange regulations, shocking liquidity, and also Tether. Please listen to the Digital Assets and Future Finance President Working Group on Stablecoins and how Tether is factually a fraud. That was also something people said was a conspiracy theory coming out of my mouth. Oh bull, get rid of the senseless Tether FUD. And now, like clockwork, we're witnessing the evidence of the facts that Tether is, in fact, a fraud. Please take a listen to the fact of the matter and give me a follow on Instagram down in the description below to find hidden gems before the rest of the masses.
Risen in the stablecoin realm about asset quality. Let me use Tether as an example. Can you tell us if Tether is backed by a dollar or cash equivalent?
My understanding from their public documents that they post is that their reserve assets include assets that are not credit risk free.
Okay. Does Tether have investments in Chinese commercial paper or any other illiquid assets that might threaten the redeemability of some otherwise stable coin?
I understand they hold commercial paper of private firms, which is not a credit free asset.
Okay. Has Tether been issued that is not fully collateralized?
I expect that is the case. They are not regulated. They publish data, but based on what I understand, they may not be able to deliver a dollar. They are not fully collateralized under all conditions.
Okay, thank you. Do you have concerns about Tether's opaqueness and its impact on consumers?
I do have concerns about the opacity of the reserve assets of stablecoin issuers.
Goodness, that is stressful. Tether, I have done a deep dive on in the past about its ties to Chinese commercial paper. It is not 100% collateralized, and we have to pivot our attention to China and its property sector, as the IMF warns China's property stress poses spillover risk, which could start to shake the wider economy and global markets, and I agree. Let's deep dive into it. First of all, I hope none of you forgot about Evergrande. Ladies and gentlemen, Evergrande defaulted. And still to this day, even though they defaulted on a couple $100 million payments, in March coming up, they have a $2.1 billion payment that they won't be able to pay. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, without a doubt. Numerous other real estate companies in China are collapsing, and plenty of Chinese properties are uninhabited ghost cities. 40% vacancy rate. That's the statistic of these Chinese ghost cities, and this is a problem because they built cities using debt, but nobody lives in these cities. And now the debt can't be paid back. This is a problem, and this could bring shockwaves to the global financial system, and it's already started. Here from Bloomberg, the other day, Mark Zuckerberg could see 24 billion erased from his net worth, among the biggest one-day drops in wealth ever, as Meta stock plunged the other day. In addition, we cannot forget Netflix and the massive one-day plunge, complete collapse of its stock that it experienced. In addition, guys, the S&P 500 looks frail. This thing looks like it's finally slowing down, and it's curving similar to how it did back in 2008. Pelosi stated that Dems expect proposals soon for a ban on stock trading for politicians. This is perfect for them to exit right at the peak of this stock market. They're doing it on the guise of being pro-people, but they're going to use the retail investor and people's retirement as exit liquidity for their wealth. So incredible. That's what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen massive shorts that politicians have for Q1 2022. And that's why I know that March will be a bloodbath. The potential for February to be good for crypto is still on the table. But make no mistake about it, things are gonna get nasty. And it's going to happen soon. Remember when I was telling all of you that 70% correction was coming? Well, it's happened, but the really big one is still on the horizon. The stock market implosion is on the horizon. And this is how I'm going to protect myself. I'm still maintaining all of my positions in crypto until prices surge for our altcoins, XRP, Hedera, Stellar, and others. Then I will take aggressive profits towards the peak on everything except XRP. I'll only cash out 5% of my XRP at around the $10 mark. As I said before, I'll say again, but you guys can do as you please. The profits I'll take from my XRP and my non-XRP altcoins I will then protect in USDC. That will be important, as in the meantime, all things eventually correct, I'll be able to have my wealth in stable coins protected on my Ledger Nano. And then, when things finally get nasty, I could rebuy at a much lower price. This is my game plan and my strategy for the days, weeks, and months to come. I hope you all understand what I'm looking at, as tensions are high. This is the most confusing time in financial history, and I can tell you that no one knows what's going on. These elections are also on the way, meaning that the people in power now may use this financial collapse as a way for them to bring on a problem and say they saved us. Are you guys all starting to see how many different scenarios could happen? I hope you are. This is the greatest show on earth. And one thing I have to tell all of you before I let you go for the day is, you are in the correct space. You are in the correct position, and you are holding the correct asset. There's only one question left. It's not even when, because it is 2022.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.